Hello, hello, hello. We are live tonight. I got my good friend here, Nicole. Nicole, I tagged you in the video too, so it's definitely on your page. Hopefully your friends get to see it as well. But we got sweet Nicole here tonight with her baby, Zanaya, right? Zanaya is here with us tonight. And we are getting ready to talk about parenting and autism. I definitely want to give a shout out to all my parents that have autistic kids, and definitely we wanted tonight just to kind of be an educational resource for parents. I know I've had several parents that have contacted me, Miss Felicia, why don't you guys do this for our children? Why don't you do this? And I'm like, you know what? Hey, all children are God's children. So we definitely want to make sure we kind of, keep everything all inclusive. Right. So we are getting ready to go live tonight. Invite. If you guys don't mind, please. And I'll always have a problem. For some reason, I can't never see the comments until the end. So I'm going to figure that out. But in the interim, I'm going to go ahead and let you introduce yourself. Okay. Tell the people a little bit about you and what you do and what you got going on and your sweet baby.
As you can see, she has a book up locking.
Hey,
she's such a character.
Is that what she's doing? Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Well, my name is Nicole Wilson.
Hi, Nicole.
I am the founder of Autism Moms Are Beautiful and the chief and editor of AMB Magazine. Mm-hmm. So we're so excited because we have our next edition of the magazine, which comes out in the fall.
Yay!
We're very excited because we have so much to offer you guys. We have interviews from Texans player Whitney Marcellus, and we have a few other people that are going to give support and love to autism moms and dads. So we're very excited about that.
Wow, awesome.
So I am an autism mom, and I rock. My music video has over 59,000 views on Facebook.
Yay!
And I'm back in the studio to record some more music.
Awesome. So you actually record music?
Yeah, I'm going back in to record another song.
How cool is that? That is really, really cool.
Songs actually. So I'm gonna have some surprises for everyone. And I'm writing a book, so I have some different things coming out. I just can't speak on what it's about, but you guys will find out.
Soon enough, right? Awesome. I'm so excited. So let's just dive right in, because I know you got your sweet baby here. Let's talk about parenting. Let's talk about, autism and how that flows with you and your lifestyle with your baby. I saw you guys come in and she wants a kiss and her hugs, and that is just adorable. Yeah. But from a parental standpoint.
Well, it's since autism is just really not one definition for the children. Mm-hmm. I just like to always inform people that if you really want to understand the child that's in front of you, you're going to have to get to know the child.
Exactly.
You cannot bring information from another child that you have dealt with and say, if you do this, then this will work. That's not how that works. Right. So I always just encourage people that, like, when it comes to my daughter right now, she don't like to be bothered.
Okay.
Social skills are not that great. And eventually I need to work on her getting better with her social skills. But if she just can stay in her own zone, she's good. But then there's other kids that would want to be right here in the middle of us and want to talk. And, and so you can't judge a book by its cover and then try to use that as for all autistic kids.
Gotcha. Yeah. So basically you're saying, and which is true for any parenting skills, really, when you think about it. But it's just a matter of getting to know your kid, know your child, know their likes, know their dislikes. And like you said, like she's content. She's in her own little world.
So please don't bother. Because if you're trying to get through anything with me at the moment, you ain't going to be able to do it.
I'll pull this down a little bit. Wow. So let's talk then about social skills. I mean, as it relates to schooling, and what have you noticed, or what would you say are some of the barriers, some of the strengths you experience with her going into the public schools, or is she in the public school?
Well, she's in the public school, but she's attending Avondale House, which is the public school is in support of her going there.
Right.
My thing is I can't speak for every school, because you can always have one bad apple and spoil a whole bunch.
For sure.
But the thing for me is that I feel that a lot of things that goes on in the school district is just not enough individuals to assist. Yeah, it's not enough.
I agree.
You can have 15 kids in one class with 2 support teachers.
Right.
You don't know, but you don't know the condition of all the kids. So a lot of times it really depends on that child for what they need to learn, but they may not be able to get all of it at that time because it's not enough time in the day, it's not enough people.
Right.
You know,
whatever the case may be.
And then also too, you have kids like that have different things going on, which includes behavior. So applied behavior analysis is something that most people gear towards for assisting with the behavior problems that the children have. But a lot of public schools, if they don't have the training and teaching on that, then what happens?
Right.
You know,
it's
so
kids.
So it's really upon getting more assistance, more services, more help within there, and sometimes it just doesn't happen that way.
Right. I guess I can honestly say that, and that is true, because I was the director at a daycare over in the Sunnyside area once, and so often I would get the phone calls of parents wanting to know if we serviced, kids with autism, and we did. And so it was just that, being able to meet the needs of the kids. But you are right, that requirement is so high in the sense of being able to make sure that we have the student to teacher ratio when dealing with kids with autism. And I think that's probably one of the things that a lot of the schools don't prepare themselves for with the kids. And so they tend to
also too, it's because you don't really know what kids you're getting. So if you say, oh, we only need but one teacher, one aide, because last year we had 13 kids, but none of them had behaviors.
Oh, wow.
But then the next school year comes, and then you may have 3 that are coming into that class with behaviors. But a lot of times you really don't know that either. I mean, it just depends on what's in the file and what's going on. So it's kind of something that is just so hard to find that common period. Right.
Gotcha.
If we just do this, then this will happen.
Gotcha.
Not the case.
Gotcha. So let's talk a little bit about detection. More so with autism. In fact, I had a friend who just told me a few minutes ago that her daughter, she just found out that her daughter has autism and she's 3 years old. Are there signs more so per se at early birth or interim toddler stages? How did you know, I guess, in the sense that?
When I look back on it now, I can see some signs that was given to me from her when she was around 2
years of age.
At that time, that's not what I was looking for, because a child is born and you're looking at the child developing, so you don't want to say, if this child's not doing this, then something is wrong, when that's not really the case. So for me, when I look back on it now, I think about some things she was doing, like, for example, I remember my mom. I had went out of town to do music. I had performed at the SOBs in New York City, and my mom was like, in order for her to go to sleep, I always have to put your robe in the crib. She would not go to sleep without it. And then the other thing is that if she gets upset about something when she was like 2, she would really just cry.
Wow.
Where it was like, really, girl? Like, are you still crying? 2 hours later, you still crying? And so my mother was like, you're gonna have to the traveling, you have to cut it out. You gotta know what's going on with her.
Right.
And then of course my daycare provider, who has been keeping children for a long time, she said herself, oh yeah, she could tell something was different. Right. Not necessarily autism. Really? Right. Is that what we're doing right now? Can you stop? Okay.
So Zanai wants us
to.
Let
me take it.
No. She wants to chime in and say hello. So can y'all say hello to my friends?
No touching the green microphone. Say okay.
So, anyways. So those were some of the signs that you saw at an early age.
That's some signs that I saw. And she also had lead poisoning also. So I don't know if that also could have assisted her.
Wow. How did she get lead poisoning?
You don't know. Okay.
And was it more in the body or in the brain?
It was in the bloodstream.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay. So when you go give them their checkups and things like that.
Yep. I have a friend.
Okay, hold on just for a second. Okay.
I have a friend of mine that's
oh, give me a kiss.
Sweet girl. Such a sweet girl. So we're going to keep moving right along. Definitely want to just kind of, and I love how you interact with her. Like the patience is there, right?
So it wasn't always.
No, I'm sure not.
It's just true. I used to be like, okay, is this the time that I'm supposed to be spanking your butt? Or is this really autism? Or what? Girl, I runs everything in my life. So right. You come along and I don't run nothing.
Right. Everything had to change.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing. But I guess in the sense that I really do, I love how you interact with her, and that's important, because from a parenting standpoint, no matter what, kids need attention.
Yes.
And that's the norm for any child. And so I commend you because I watched you with her, and that patience is there. And today I have 12 kids, 12. And today my patience was just like way up there. I'm like, hello, y'all, chill out.
And I'll tell you what really helped me with my patience was because I found that, which just happens with other parents, and they'll tell you the same thing. She actually can sense that I'm upset.
Wow.
And that means the mood that she in is going to get worse and worse. I literally have to calm myself.
Gotcha.
Then it takes her 20 minutes to calm down, and my nerves have been shot. So I now just have to give her the face and go.
I ain't studying you today. I ain't studying you.
You done? Are you finished yet? You know, I have to do like baby, you ain't gonna run my blood pressure from side.
Right. Yeah. You have mastered this thing. I'm so proud of you, girl. You have mastered it. I'm still trying to master it with 12 normal kids. But I have one, my little Cameron, he's all over the place. And today was that day I had a parent to come in and do a tour.
One of those tour
days. In the world did I have her to come when I was by myself? And so he really showed off. He showed off. Yeah, she likes the microphone.
She likes to bother me.
Is that what that is?
She know I'm not wanting her to do it, so she does that. Let me show you what I can do.
Aww. So let's talk more. What would you say to a parent that's dealing with autism or a child with autism? And I know we talked about the parenting part of it, kind of knowing your child and even the patience piece. I do appreciate that coming from you, Nicole. But what would you say to the parent that maybe who's just found out that their child is autistic and not really ready to deal with it?
Oh, that is definitely a heavy one. Well, the first thing I would recommend is finding other moms that have children with autism.
Okay, yeah.
Because most of the time, if you are a mother that has just been diagnosed with a child with autism, you really don't know who those parents are because your circle of friends probably wasn't better. Maybe you had one or two or something that you're not thinking of, and join some support groups.
Because if you join something's calling on me right now.
Oh, you said what?
I said I feel like something was calling on me, but that's okay. I mean, on my
just glad that it's nothing. So I would recommend joining a support group, or like we have different groups on Facebook, joining groups, because if you join groups, you put your story out there, you're not going to be judged by it.
Right.
And so you can say, this is how I'm feeling. I don't like this. I don't like the fact that my child is diagnosed with this. They're not saying they don't like the child. They just don't know
how
what
to deal
do.
with that
What's
situation.
the next step? This wasn't in my plan. What are we supposed to do? So if you do that, then you can have someone come back and say, oh yeah, I've been through that before too, if you need to talk. Because that's what I did. I joined a support group, and you would think me working in the school districts with different kids with special needs, I had no clue that the child,
You'd be taking one home
every day. Just work. I've been going to work every day, working with special needs kids and kids with disabilities, and nothing woke me up or nothing. And then that's what I did. I met Jean Tinbrink. She's not even from here.
Right.
And she had a support group when I went, and met her like the best of friends. We talk pretty much every other day.
Wow.
And you're going to develop new friends because it's a whole different world.
For sure.
I found that I've made so many new friends from this.
Awesome. And that is a journey. Yes. That's a journey that, moms like you, you travel. And I guess in one sense that it's a beautiful journey, right? Because you get a chance to meet new people, meet new friends who are like-minded. Not that it's a pity party of any kind, but you guys are really supporting each other, and that support system is there. And it's no different than what the Mommy and Me playtimes, when moms meet up and go do the playtime. So to have that support group, I'm sure is always helpful, inspirational, kind of help you guys out throughout the
and if you notice with Autism Moms Are Beautiful, I do a lot of funny things.
Yeah.
I try to make things comical. Because everyone's dealing with their stress so differently.
For sure.
For sure. And of course, then you have the stress of, am I married to a crazy man? That's another stress. Do I have other kids that ain't on the spectrum and they drive me crazy? So it just depends on the person's life. You know, a person really could be going through their own issues. They could be having their own health issues. They got to turn around
and deal with.
And then we can't forget about the ones that have more than one on the spectrum that they're raising. We have people raising 3, people raising 2, and then you
told me about the lady that had the twins, the 2 girls.
Right? There's 3.
Oh, actually, her 3 girls.
Her name is Hope Montgomery, and she's here in Houston area, Sugar Land area, and she has triplets. And they're just beautiful girls, but it's just the fact that you have triplets. Wow, you know. Right. And I love when people talk to her because she tells you a whole different story.
For sure,
you know what I mean. Her story is nothing like mine at all. But I actually call her if I need advice or something. She's very, really a sweet lady. She's real calm spirited, and she just tells it like it is. You want to know something? She said, you want me to tell you the truth? That's all I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you. Real upfront.
That's always good to have, right? So this may be a better time than any just to dive in and let's talk about your support group. Your Autistic Moms Are Beautiful. I know you did the magazine. Let's talk a little bit about that, and you can kind of share with the people how to connect with you, because I know I have several parents that are a part of our foundation whose kids are autistic, and so I want them to be able to connect with you for sure. To help provide those resources. And one of the things, we'll talk about this before it's over, but we'll kind of tell them about some plans that we got on the spectrum coming down the pipeline next year that we want to do with, our kids with autism. So we're going to be incorporating that into some things that we're going to be doing next year. But before we do that, let's talk a little bit about your magazine and what you do and how they can connect with you. And can they advertise in the magazine, or is it just strictly?
We have where you can have an advertising rate. We have that in there, but it's not only for autism moms, but you have to remember that autism moms need things and need resources, so it's definitely for anyone that wants to advertise. Awesome. So our magazine is doing great. We have over 25,000 impressions. Wow. And we've only had 8 issues, so we're doing great. So we're doing this, we're increasing subscription. So that's what we're looking for people to start subscribing to the magazine. And it's just AMA Beautiful is what it is. AMAB magazine, but sometimes people say AMA Beautiful. But it's AMAB. And if you just type in 2019 AMB magazine, all of them will come up. Right. And so that's one thing. And then also, if you're following us on Facebook, it's AMB magazine Facebook page. Okay. We have over 5,000 followers, so we're really growing. Wow. We're very excited. We reach over 200,000 people a month, so we're really excited. So just follow us. Now, our private group, I really try to keep that for supporters the moms. And the moms. So we do have supporters in the group, but if you don't answer them questions, decline.
I don't even know if I got. Did I get in?
Yeah, I think you did get it. I think you did get it because we knew each other.
Right. I think I was trying to sneak in or something. I'm like, let me get in the group.
People be coming up and they're like,
Right.
So
I spy.
I spy. Exactly. And so I also don't want to lose the oneness that I have. So I try to keep the group, it's not it grows, but if I could keep it where it's just really just
consolidated with the moms and the support.
So
that's perfect.
And Autism Moms Are Beautiful is our private group with Nicole Wilson. And I'm very goofy and I'm very silly.
You are. I love it. I love it.
So I post a lot of silly things that I just be like, oh my goodness, where are we doing that at? Right. But definitely you can get the magazine on our website, which is www.amabeautiful.org. Okay. Everything that we're doing is on there. The video is on there. Different people that we've done interviews with, interviews that I've done, our award ceremony that we do yearly with honor moms and dads. Yay. That's all that's on there. Interviews I've done, like I'll put this one on there. I've interviewed with Deborah Duncan, different stuff that we have on there.
Awesome. And let me ask you, Nicole, so with that, the Autistic Moms Are Beautiful. Autism Moms Are Beautiful. The 2 words, right? Has that enhanced your life as well in the sense of bringing that exposure, number one? And I agree with you because you're always promoting and pushing things out there that are comical, but there are things that sometimes ruffle our feathers, right? I think I saw you put something out there, or somebody put something out there about, was it yesterday or today when the autistic kid, and they put him out of the classroom or something?
Probably.
Something happened with one of the autistic kids, and I know you put him out of you put the article on your page. And so I said that to say that those type of things do exist from people that are heartless, that are senseless, and don't know how to deal with the reality of a child that has autism. And that's unfortunate. But we have cruel people in this world. So we can accept that, right? We can accept that as the reality, that we have cruel people in this world, but then we have some loving, kind, nurturing people. Right. And so I'm sure that's where I was going with this, that has enhanced your life with being able to be around those loving, kind, nurturing people.
Yeah, because if you're not, you can't be around me, because I'm very, what are you trying to do? Why you acting a fool? Why is you acting like that? It's kind of like we're our children's biggest advocate, and for me, I'm my daughter's biggest advocate. If I think that you're doing something you don't have no business, we finna be a face-to-face conversation, and your feelings might get hurt. But I'm gonna do it so sweet. At the end of the day, if I hurt your feelings, you're gonna protect your child. Right. I get it. Like any mother would, though, right? Yeah, and that's pretty much anyone, and I would hope that there's good people in the world, which they are, that when they see it happening, bullying, that's one of the biggest things, you already know. Our children are in school, we want our children to go to, as they say, regular classes, but we don't want to worry about them being picked on in passing in hallways, because you have individuals who are mean and cruel and just hateful, and all that. That's a whole nother story that breaks my heart, it's a whole nother story that we already deal with kids in the school that are being bullied, and then to add on kids with autism that are being bullied and picked on. And I mean, I've seen videos where kids would actually just walk up to the child and hit them or take their lunch or whatever, just to be cruel, because they know that child. And then video of like crazy children and put it out like no one's going to see this, and then it goes viral in like 2 hours, and now they're afraid to get online and stuff. It's like, what was your point of it? It made you feel like a big person to do that. So you got your 5 minutes of whatever you think was fame, picking on a child, picking on someone that can't fight back. That's crazy. What would you say your experience has been with that, though, even in just society? We all have those prejudices. We have those things that we look at like, we see two different people of ethnicity together and you double stare or whatever. I'm sure, I get it all the time. And let me tell you why. I have Cameron, who's my little boy. He's my son. He's Caucasian. And everywhere I go, it's like, people are looking like, who's that little boy with, right? And he's with me. I do. I said all the time, like, hello, he's with me. And then it makes it even grander when he goes, mama, right? So people are looking at him like, oh, the little boy calling her mama. But that's the relationship that he and I have. And unfortunately, people in society don't see that. Those blind shackles are on their eyes, and they don't see the purity of this child who is with me despite the color of my skin. So I can only imagine what you guys deal with from the autism standpoint of being in public and with kids. Yeah, because there's you have to just because our children need to learn certain things. We have to train them. So I actually, my daughter had meltdowns that was out of this world, but I actually worked with the CVS around the corner from my place, and I said, hey, I really want her to really grasp coming out. She's gonna have meltdowns, but can I just come in here? And it's like, no problem. So that's kind of how I work with her. So then you get the looks, you get the funny looks, and then you have to go, what's wrong with you? Stop staring at me. I'm trying to hello. Exactly. So I just tell people that you're gonna get it. It's never gonna end. You see how she talks to herself. So like the go out, people look. I just really ignore it. As long as you're not going to discriminate or make us leave a place, then I don't have to turn into a wolf. And baby, I can't get rid of that. That's just how it is. So let's talk about that. You have had your experiences where they asked you to leave a place, right? I haven't really just been asked to leave nowhere. I thought you told me about the library. It was more or less they were trying to hint around at the fact that she was making noise, and I was saying that if you would go to the other side, you wouldn't have to hear it, but you keep standing over here. I don't understand why you standing over here talking to me. When you get this Barnes and Nobles is humongous. It's humongous. It's a whole place that you can go. So going on the other side of the building, right? You need to just go over there because we're not leaving, so that's not gonna happen. Bottom line. Yeah. And so that is a reality that people will stare, they'll look, or they'll even make comments or whatever. So I'm sure you guys get that in the public arena, being out in public, and I think for me, because I am just who I am, I don't hear you. Like you're really talking to yourself. You're gonna be talking. I love you, girl. I love you. Like she's not talking to me. Nonchalant. I don't even see you. I don't even hear you either. So for me, it's like I don't even see you. I don't even hear you. And you could be right here talking. I'm gonna let you keep talking until I'm ready to go. And by that time, I could have a conversation with you because I'm leaving. On my way out. But yeah, I'm very good at going. I don't even know who is that. Do I know you? I'm sorry. Are you important to me? No, you're not. And she over there just still talking and stuff to herself, and I'm like, whatever. But because this is who she is, so I had to start also building my confidence.
Right.
So I also taught autism off.
Right.
You have to build your confidence to know when I go in here, somebody may look at me crazy, somebody may say something, somebody may, as long as you don't touch my baby, then we're good.
Yeah.
Maybe I can't do nothing about that.
And so I guess that's the key for parents that are listening in tonight. I got a couple of parents that are online, some that I know do have children with autism. And the thing of it is that even as society, as people in society, we have to learn to accept each other's differences, right? When you say, let's accept each other's differences, that no matter what, I mean, this baby is sitting here, she ain't bothering us. At the end of the day, we're doing a podcast and she's over there in her own little world, and from time to time she wants a hug from her mama. What's wrong with that? So we learn to just deal with each other where we are, and whenever we start doing that, if we ever start doing that in society, oh, what a better world this would be. Oh, what a better world this would be. And so that's why I wanted to bring you on tonight, just to address the issue. I got a lady that's coming on in a couple of weeks, and we're going to be talking about children's behavior and things to look for, the signs. And so there is a difference. We all know that there is a difference between autism and then, of course, the child with ADHD. There is that difference. And to be able to distinguish between the two is essential too for a parent. And so that's why I kind of wanted you to come on tonight. I was like, bring the baby, bring her, let her come on with us tonight.
She's
like, I don't have no babysitter. I'm like, girl, bring her.
You know, the thing is, I talk to her now. I talk to her, okay, look, this is what we're going, this is what we're doing.
Right.
And there is no bye-bye. Good. Don't ask me no bye-bye. Because she will ask you 50,000 times. And when it gets to the 50,000 times, we got to go. Right. So I've learned that she's also getting older. So I also have to respect the fact that me talking to her gives her the power to respond.
Awesome.
Gives her the power to tell me if she wants to do something or not. And then if she says no, then I need to figure out what's my next move to say, let's do this.
Right.
So that's
effective communication.
Yeah,
right?
And that's the thing.
And we all want that. We all want to be communicated properly.
Yes.
So why not? I mean,
and also, autistic individuals who are grown. I've learned so much from them. And I remember, looking at someone's page who was autistic.
Fantastic.
And saying, stop babying them. I didn't quite understand what that meant until I realized, wow, I'm putting on this sock because I have something to do, and I'm brushing the sock, putting on the sock. Right. Instead of saying, I know you can put this sock on, I know you can do this. Right. It's upon me to slow down so that way she'll have more independence. To teach her. And a lot of autistics will just say just more independence and being able to allow the freedom, let the guard down. Because a lot of times we can be babying them, and we're holding on instead of trying to see what they can actually do. And I know I was very guilty of that. Gotcha. So I was very thankful to a lot of the actual autistic adults that I've seen online. Yeah, that was talking about it.
And like any mother, we become mama bears when it's our children, anyways, right? So whatever you do, don't mess with a woman's child.
Yes.
So I get that. I get that. And I think more so those instances when it is your child, and because she does have autism, I'm sure that it makes you become even the more mama bear.
Yeah,
right?
It's kind of like, allowing that title, which that's something that we should do to now dictate what we do versus saying, and this is not saying that autism moms are doing this. I'm speaking for me,
your experience,
and how I had to start learning to let go. I had to start, because she actually started telling me, do it myself. Do it myself. That's another thing I started thinking, like, wow, she's saying this to me,
letting you know.
And I'm so used to doing this, why I'm not allowing her to grow and know who I need to bring in to help her do better at this and things like that. And so she writes, she's reading, but it's a lot of things I have to let go of, as her mom.
So she is writing, and she's
writing much better. She can write her name, and if you say words, she can write them. It's not straight, but it's right there, and it's very
progression is taking place.
But it's the fact that she's making progress.
And what would you say? How would you say you've mastered that? Even though it's not where you would probably want it to be, whatever. At this point, she's making progression. Is it the consistency that you guys operate in with teaching her how to write, the reading piece of it? What has enhanced her skills with the writing?
It's me not giving up. It's me not allowing someone to say she cannot do this.
Wow.
That happens a lot. So, you put them in the school, and then a therapist says, oh, that just didn't work. But for me, it was more or less like, well, try something else. Try a different way. Wow. And for her, most children, I hope I have this right, but learning how to write is capitalization. big E.
For sure.
Big A.
For sure.
It was
the difference.
Not registering for her.
Gotcha.
Lowercase actually registered for her. And from the lowercase, she started writing in a week and a half to 2 versus fighting for 3 years with uppercase. It wasn't registering for her.
Wow.
So like I tell people, I didn't give up, but I also had to realize that, you know, if this is not working, try something else. And then this lady came in and said, why don't you just try lowercase? Exactly. And gave her the lowercase. She said it was the easiest thing. You know?
Wow. And so she got it.
She got it.
And that's education, right? That's just the normal teaching piece in us that we learn to, we learn what makes our children tick. We learn what makes them progress from a learning standpoint. And that's very good just to kind of know, just to kind of think on those type of things that you can do. I was trying to see if a couple of people had a couple of questions, but to think on different ways and different approaches to get them to comprehend what it is that you guys are teaching. And I love it. So yeah, I know we kind of talked about this a little bit, but what are some of the things that a parent can do with their child in the public? And for instance, they're out at the restaurant and I'm not at the restaurant and my kids act up. I swear, we went to the restaurant the other night and me and my girls were like, I'm never taking these kids with us anymore, right there. They were tearing up the place. But what we found was this. Give them the videos, let them watch something educational or whatever, and it tends to keep them occupied. Is that, the likewise, would you say?
Yeah, that's one aspect of it, and the other is just consistency. So if you take them to the restaurant and there's a meltdown, you walk out and never come back, how are they supposed to learn that they're supposed to sit still at this restaurant? So you may have to go back a second time, you have to go back a third time, and you just have to risk the embarrassment that the spaghetti may get thrown across the table. But the catch is that if you continuously do it, they eventually will get it for most of them. So for her, that was the same way with her. Now we can sit in restaurants, but of course the devices help. Right. But I know that if I didn't have a device, because I've been training her to go, just like with the movies, she never sat down at the movies. Wow. But I kept taking her, and we go for sensory friendly screening. I don't go to the regular room, but I go to the sensory friendly screening. But after about maybe 9 times, she now sits the entire movie. Oh wow! She has a device, but I also bring writing for her. She brings her books. But it's just you can't give up. Right. You feel like I want to do this. It's so hard, and it is. And that's where you also say, "Well, do I need to call another mom and call some more friends?" Exactly. And that's what a lot of times we should do. Say, "Hey, can you come to this with me? Because maybe I'm missing something. I'm not doing something right." Wow. That's why you want to join. What a good idea! That's a very good idea. Have another mom to accommodate you, or come with you, just someone to kind of already knows the stress. That's gone down this road before. There's a mom. Her name is Dondra Stain, and her organization is Beyond Family. And I remember when I was 3 years old and we had went to her event where she does respite service, and Zanai, she picked Zanai up and Zanai clawed her. I mean, we talking about clawed her, like and I'm like, she's like, oh, Kara, please, I've been clawed so much by my son, it's okay. But it made me feel better because it wasn't like, she's like, oh yeah, girl, I got scratched up all the time when my child was younger. But that wouldn't have probably happened the same way with someone that probably didn't have a child on the autism spectrum with behaviors. Right. But because she did, it was more or less like, girl, go ahead, I got it. Don't worry about it. And I was like, okay. And but surprised there, that was me having to let go. She helped me to kind of let go because she's an autism mom and she's been through it before. And it was nothing. She's like, girl, I've had scratched like this before, Right. Yeah, I mean, it has its struggles, but getting that team together really helps. Awesome, I appreciate that. Lastly, we're going to cut this session kind of short tonight because I do want you to keep her occupied, and so we agreed that we would just kind of keep it at a 30-minute level. And so, if you guys have any questions, definitely let us know. We would love to answer your questions. But let's talk a little bit about something you said a minute ago about the insecurities or the embarrassments that moms may face or experience. Heck, we can take our kids out in public and they act up on us and we all get embarrassed, right? But for moms with autism that are dealing with autism, what would you say to that mom? Because I appreciate what you said a moment ago about just having that self-confidence that this is my child and so what? Like at the end of the day, what's your problem? Right. But how do you help a mom get to that point? Well, that's something that for me, I would say that it's definitely not an overnight thing. It's not an overnight thing, but it is something that it does take time. I hear people that would say, you better do this, you need to do that. But I'm a firm believer on giving that mom the time, working with her, talking to her. And sometimes what works for another, where that person says, I took mine out at the age of 2 and it only took me 2 weeks. Okay, that may not work for her, because, you have to understand the stress of getting there. You have the stress of, oh my goodness, I gotta go in this store. What is gonna happen?
Right.
So for me, I would just encourage moms to try to time themselves a little bit less.
Okay.
You want to go to the store, you want to get $150 worth of groceries, which will take you an hour.
Right.
Why not go and say, you know what, I'm going to go get 5 items today. I'm going to train my baby 5 items today, and we're going to just keep getting 5 items. And we're going to time it 10 minutes. Let's see if we can go in here for 10 minutes. Then after a couple of times going for 10 minutes, then you say, okay, now we're going to go for 15. I'm going to go for 20.
Right.
And then it kind of just make that
gradually
time go up.
Increases.
Yes. And that to me would also help to increase the confidence, because you're not putting so much on you to fulfill something in an hour and a half that you did before the child was born. You have to let go of that same pattern. You have to say, I can't do it this way. And that's what I had to do. We would really go in there and get milk and oatmeal and come out of the store. And she'd be clowning all the way from aisle 20 to, and it's like, girl, come on, we could just get through here. And also the other thing I would do is I would also go to the store as early as possible in the morning when there was hardly no one there.
Gotcha.
I don't go with the heat of the traffic.
Right. The afternoon, the evening times when everybody's dashing in after work.
I would actually go at 8 o'clock in the morning with her and do 15 minutes, 20 minutes. And believe me, it was 7 minutes. It wasn't even that long, girl. We couldn't even make it 7 minutes, girl, because she'd get in the line. I'm like, please don't let nobody be in front of me. And so after that, it worked. But that's it's kind of like people are going to tell you what works for them. I'm telling you something that worked for me, but I'm also telling you something that you can try.
Right. And that's exactly what I wanted tonight. Hi, sweet girl. That's exactly what I wanted tonight. I wanted to be able to just to kind of bring those resources together so that we can just kind of help parents know and understand how to deal with it. My last question to you, babysitting, childcare, parents' time away.
Okay, what did I tell you about? There's no.
That's what people say.
That's right. So come on. Thank you. Go ahead with your question. I'm sorry.
Such a sweet girl. Babysitting. Do you recommend? And I'm sure, like you guys, everybody, we all need a break. We all have to get out. We all have to, step away from it, especially as it relates to children. So, what would you say to the mom that's struggling? I read a post on yesterday where her and her husband were getting out for the first time since their child had been diagnosed of having autism. And she said that the kid is like 9 and this is their first time going out. And she didn't want to go too far away from home. She wanted to find something close in the Katy area, all that. And in my mind, I thought, well, she's not going to enjoy this night out because she's already building up the stress level of stepping away from it. Right. So what would you say to the moms, to the parents that, because all of us, I need a break. I do kids all day, every day. And I've had my grandkids for the last 3 weekends straight. And I'm like, I'm not doing it this weekend, right? So we all need breaks. And so I can only imagine, that within itself can be stressful because you don't really want to step away from your child, not knowing how he or she is going to be tended to. But you gotta get to that point, right? That you do step away.
Yeah, it's that's a tough one.
I'm sure.
It's more of trust because I'll give you an example. It's more of trust. I had someone that took Sanai. It was a former rescue service. Took Sanai out, and she said, "Oh, everything went great. Everything was well." And then I get a call from the actual service company saying that my daughter was pulling hair. But why didn't you tell me that? Exactly. Does that make sense? And that's what people don't understand. It's more of the trust issue. It's more or less not the fact that you don't want the break. It's the fact that the child is nonverbal. Right. Are you going to tell me everything that happened? Makes sense. Right. And then if you don't have the camera equipment, which a lot of people that freely go, they have installed cameras inside, they can look on their phone the whole time. But the problem is really that. And so for me, you can have respite service, but again, can you trust the respite service? Because everyone says, "Oh, I know what I'm doing," and then you find out that they don't. That's another problem. And so the biggest thing is finding the appropriate person. A lot of people, family. I was about to say family. For me, it's more family. For sure. But that's the thing with that. We need the breaks, but it's not worth the break of a horrific incident happening. Then I come back and I'm like, so that's the thing. It's really more of finding really who you can really trust. That is going to open their minds to listen to how things go with this child, not what you want to do.
Exactly.
Not the way you babysit other kids. I need you not to do this. You cannot leave this open. You cannot leave this door open. You can't do, things like that. And that's what the biggest problem is people opening their minds to understanding that how you raise your child, I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm talking about what's going on with
and
this
what's totally different.
Autism.
Yeah.
And that's your biggest hang up is the fact that, I have a child, I know what I'm doing. You don't. You know what you're doing. And you don't want to be rude.
Right.
But it's like, if I tell you, let her sit there, why are you trying to be her friend? So now you're calling me because she's having a meltdown. What happened? I was trying to talk to her, but I said don't. You know what I'm saying? It's
knowing those
like that.
instructions of how to, like we said at the beginning of the show, just really knowing your child and knowing his or her likes and dislikes. And so I'm sure
because that's their freedom. So
exactly.
This is her freedom. She chooses to do things this way. And I don't need you as the babysitter trying to be this miraculous teacher so you can say that you did something. I need you just to do what I tell you to do.
Something wrong with this girl.
Sit down.
Girl, I love you. You are so
that's really what
point
it is.
blank. And I get it. I do. I get it because all of us, even parenting, we all have to take those breaks and step away from it. But when we do, we got to be able to breathe. We got to be able to step away from it. Do just that, right? Yeah. Step away from it and not have the stress of dealing with or the worry of worrying all night about, oh my God, what's going on with my child? Is she okay? Calling every 10, 15 minutes. Well, that's not a break, right? And I would think that maybe because you guys have such a huge resource of support from each other, that do y'all do more of the get-togethers, like, okay, you got them this weekend, I got them next weekend?
I think that some people do that, but I think more so they just go to events and places and they take their kids with them, and it's an area where they can have respite service, but they're right in the same place. So the party's over here, the respite is in the building next door. So they can just come get you if something is going on. But a lot of times it's great. There's events that are done, like they have the organization is called Families on the Spectrum. They do a lot of events where the kids are involved as well. So like they have the movie nights where they have the movie parties and stuff like that. So so a lot of times to have that relief of going somewhere, we don't have to worry about being judged or looked at. You just take your child with you, and you're okay. But now for me, I need a little break. But of course. My parents are there, and a lot of people don't have that. But my parents are there, and they just don't want her in the hands of anyone that they can't trust. So they're more like, no, she can come over here.
Well, grandparents are always like that anyway. So
she has respite service as well too,
which is good.
So that was me having to let go. But of course, I had to be real selective of who was the one working with her.
Let's talk triggers. I think you and I talked about that the last time when we met. Like, like with her noise, loud noises will trigger. What are some of the triggers?
Well, with mine, I would say that the triggers changed over time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So like, for example, Wheel of Fortune used to send her to another level. So noise on Wheel of Fortune, I don't know what the noise was, but also she'll just start screaming. I'm like, what? And then as time went on, it didn't happen anymore.
Gotcha.
Then it was Jeopardy.
Okay.
I was like, girl, what is going on with you? But also too, she sometimes cries. I have no idea what the trigger is.
Wow.
We don't sometimes even know what the trigger is. It's more or less, I know that when she does the crying, it's gonna stop.
Right.
So I just hold her until it stops. And sometimes it's 10 minutes, and then I'm like, I don't know what's going on, girl. You crying for no reason, like you're watching a love story or something. And so let me just hold you. And actually, it was actually right before we came.
Like you're a tickle box.
She did it, and then it just goes away, and then we just move on to something else.
Wow.
Like I said, the triggers are so different for all of them. Wow. It's so different.
Have you always been like this? Have you always had that tough skin?
So this is this.
No, I'm talking like now. You're like so, and I admire you. You're so strong, right?
Oh, thank you.
No, you really are, and I admire you. Have you always had this type of tough skin?
I've always been a strong person, but I would feel that, I used to fly off at the handle very quickly. In my younger days,
fly off at the handle.
Well, let me say, right when she got diagnosed with autism, I flew off the handle lot until I started figuring things out, and I realized I needed to quit doing that.
Right.
Now, some people be trying to take me there. We have a heart meeting and things like that. I have to remind them of the person that they had in the first place. And I go, you remember that girl that was here? It's the same person.
Right.
I haven't changed. I just calmed down a little bit.
Right. Right.
So,
right. Awesome. Okay, guys. Well, listen, this has been an amazing show. I definitely want for those that are just tuning in, let's go back, talk a little bit about your autism moms are beautiful. AMAB, I guess it all the time. AMAB. Let's talk a little bit about that. Let them know how to connect with you, what you got going on with the magazine, and definitely would love just to kind of have our audience to support you, support your endeavors and what you have going on. And again, I salute you, Nicole. Like this has been an amazing show, and she's done awesome just to have her here. Yeah, she's done extremely awesome just to have her to be a part of the show. So yeah, tell them about your what you got going on.
You can visit our website at www.amabeautiful.org, and there you will find the magazine is there. The link to purchase the magazine is there. To look at our music video, different interviews, and things that we have upcoming that's going to be going on. Our next event is going to be next Thursday at PJ's Coffee House in Pearland. Our autism mom, Kyra, she's also someone that owns, she's our autism mom, and she's the actual owner
of PJ's. Yes, I love it.
So we go in there to do our poetry night there, and we have the moms come out to just express their feelings. You know,
I'm coming.
And I can,
next Thursday night?
Yeah,
girl, I'm coming. I'm going to support. I definitely want to be there. I was going to try to make the last one, and I think I was out of town or something, but definitely don't let me forget, because I'm going to put it in my schedule tonight before I leave out of here. But super exciting. So if they want to connect with you, how can they do that?
Well, they can email me at info@amabeautiful.org or AMAB magazine at gmail.com. Connect me that way. Facebook Messenger is not the best way to get me because it'll be like 50, 60 messages. Donna, the person that has
10 days later, you finally responded to my messenger. So
Donna
don't hit her up on Messenger, y'all.
Don't do Messenger. You definitely can find us on IG. I'm not really the messenger for IG either. So it's better to just email info@amabeautiful.org or AMAB magazine.
And you've built an amazing audience of people, followers. You're probably at what, about 50,000 you said?
No, I mean 5,000 followers.
5,000. I'm sorry. Okay.
The page has been in existence for about maybe 3 years, and then the page reaches over 200,000.
200,000. That's the reach. Your reach.
And I'm saying over 200,000, but we have even been as high as 500,000, depending on the month and depending on the content. So it's really wonderful because I really didn't know that it was growing
to that magnitude
within this last year.
Awesome.
I think we went from 2,000 followers to 5,000 just this year alone. So
exciting, super exciting.
Definitely.
Yeah. So there you have it. This is my girl Nicole Wilson. Hit her up, not hook her up.
No, don't hook me up. I'm enjoying single life, so I'm okay.
Well, you never know.
Relationships, please. Thank you. No more hookups.
You never know. Hit her up, definitely. Autism. I say it all the time. Autism Moms Are Beautiful. That's her magazine. She's actually pushing that out. The reach is at over 200,000 right now. Super excited, super proud of you for what you're doing, girl. I salute my sisters. That's one thing I do. I promote my sisters, and so that's across the spectrum, all diversities. We are sisters. We support each other. We promote each other. I am so doggone proud of you. Like I really am, just to see you holding it down, single mom, got it together, taking care of that sweet baby over there of yours. And so to those of you that are listening in, and perhaps you know of someone who their child has autism, connect with Nicole. She's a very, very good resource to have in your corner, and she has some amazing connections to kind of help, definitely foster you in the right direction. Family members, definitely, likewise to connect with her as well. So I really wanted to just pause for a moment to say thank you for coming on the show tonight. I really appreciate having you. We won't keep you any longer. I'm gonna get this baby out of here and get her home, get her situated for today. Thank you guys so much. If you don't have any questions, we're gonna go ahead and call this one a night. We really, really just wanted to kind of talk about autism and the joy of it. As you can tell, this girl is enjoying her life. She's enjoying parenting her baby, and that's what's up. That's what's up, Nicole. I salute you. So thank you guys again tonight for tuning in. Go out and have an amazing week. And I said, and I'll say it, and I'll say it again. What about the children, y'all? Let's call it a night.